Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today we will learn about Pancasila. Have you ever studied before? Let's learn together. Pancasila is not a religion, doesn't conflict with religion, and is not used to replace the possession of religion. So, if examined carefully, Pancasila is manifestation of the application of religious values, especially Islam. The first precept, belief in one supreme God. The first precept, which reads, believe in one God, is a manifestation of the implementation of the oneness of Allah and the relationship between the Creator and His creatures, or Hablum Minallah, as written in the monastic sentence, La ilaha illallah, which means there is no God but God. The essence of monotheism itself in the Quran is contained in the letter Al-Ikhlas, verse 1 until 6, which means, say, He is Allah, the one and only. Allah is God, who depends on Him all things. He begets neither begotten nor begotten, and there is no equal. The second precept, just and civilized humanity. Just and civilized humanity is the second precept of the embodiment of the relationship between human beings, or Hablum Minannas, which is lined with the Holy Quran, first in the Surah Al-Mumtahana, verse 8, which means, God doesn't forbid you to be kind and do justice to those who don't fight you because of religion and don't expel you from your country. Furtherly, Allah loves those who act. Next, third precept, Indonesian unity. The third precept is Indonesian unity, which reflects an ukhuwah between humans and between Muslims, as the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Ali Imran, verse 103. Hold all of you to the rope of Allah, and don't be divided, and remember the blessings of Allah. Allah to you when you used to be enemies. So Allah united your hearts, then you became, because of Allah's favor, brothers, and you were on the edge of the abyss of hell. Then Allah saved you from it. Thus Allah explains His verses to you, that you may be guided. Fourth precept, democracy led by wisdom and deliberation or representation. Population led by wisdom in the deliberation or representation as the fourth precept became an important foundation in a country that has a high level of pluralism, so that differences of opinion can be resolved in a good way. As the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the letter Ashura, verse 38, for those who accept the call of their Lord and establish prayer, while their affairs are by deliberation between them. The last precept is fifth precept, social justice for all Indonesian people. Social justice for all Indonesian people is a form of concern for others. In the Quran Surah An-Nur, verse 22, Allah says, and let not those who have advantages and spaciousness among yours swear that they not will give assistance to his relatives, the poor, and those who emigrated in the way of Allah, and let them forgive and have mercy on them. Don't you want Allah to forgive you? And Allah is most forgiving, most merciful. The moral values of Pancasila must be preserved by Indonesia's millennial generation. The millennial generation, currently aged between 18 until 36 years, is a generation of productive age, the generation that will play an important role in maintaining the life and of the nation and state. The advantages of this generation are high creativity, full of confidence and connected to one another. However, because they live in the era that is completely automated, This generation tends to want something that is instantaneous and very easily influenced. This is a critical point for the future of our country and nation. It is indeed an irony in the midst of the current development of communication technology. But on the other hand, it turns out that it is not able to bring closer and realize the nation's children. The era of communication has proven to granted access and speed of obtaining information. However, it often creates distance and makes it uncommunicative. What's more, it ends up breaking the relationship. Communication and information technology has changed the lifestyle and mindset of the millennial generation. Using technology, mass media, the internet, the goals are clearer, namely economic resilience, defense and security, culture, ideology, environment, politics, character, and etc. To fortify itself from distraction due to the rapid development of technology and effort to divide the nation, this nation must return to Pancasila. Pancasila, as a philosophy of the Indonesian nation, has developed naturally from a long history, contains the outlook on life, character, and noble values of the Indonesian nation. The noble values contained in Pancasila are the spirit of unity, respect for differences, willingness to sacrifice, never giving up, mutual cooperation, patriotism, nationalism, optimism, self-esteem, togetherness, and self-confidence. Pancasila must be made the way of life for all children of the nation in the life of society, nation, and state. Pancasila no longer needs to be taught formally with a rigid appearance, but the most important thing is that its essence is maintained and practiced. Okay, next, the reason we cannot impose religion and beliefs on the other people. The prohibitions of imposing religion on the other people is closely related to the concept of human rights where in Islamic teachings these values are highly respected. Human right or ham can be interpreted as a concept of modern political ethic that contains ideas about the subject of respect and respect for human and humanity. The Indonesian nation consists of various tribes, religions, ethnicities, and diverse races. There are many religions adhered to by the Indonesian people. There are Islam, Hindu, Christianity, Confucian Buddhism, Baha'i, and others. Apart from religion, there are also countless otherness of belief in God Almighty. In order to avoid meaningful conflicts between a thirdness of one religion or a thirdness of one belief, and the creation of harmony among religious communities, an attitude of openness and acceptance of the existence of religions, beliefs, and other beliefs is needed. So, it is inevitable freedom of religion is an element that cannot be spared from the life and culture system of mankind. Freedom of religion is above the sunnah of pluralism, within a framework of unity and balance. Freedom of religion must be the principle and attitude of a person in respecting the other people to embrace any religion of his own choice. The reason is very simple. The existence of the religion that is adhered to is the same as that of other people who both have truth claims of their claims. The thing that needs to be underlined is that everyone's belief in their religion or belief is the most personal, individual's exclusive, hidden part of human beings. This makes us, as ordinary human beings, don't have any power other than God's power that can force a belief. Next, it's about application of the fourth precept of Pancasila in the school environment. The first, respect the opinions of other friends when attending lessons in class. The second, actively participate in class discussions. The third, learn to dare to express opinions in class. Fourth, don't impose personal will when participating in class discussion. Fifth, respect collective decisions for the benefit of the class. Sixth, make discussions together with responsibility. Seventh, to elect class administrators by voting. And the last one is solving problems in class by deliberation. Okay, the next one. There are applications in the school environment again, like conduct deliberation and discussion to prepare for the cleanliness competition. Next, be aware of right and obligation in class in participating in discussions. Don't interpret other friends who are expressing opinions. Don't blame each other's opinions. Next is prioritizing common interests over personal interests when expressing opinions. Uphold consensus deliberations. Carry out the result of the deliberation responsibility. Okay, the next slide is how to learn students to have the character of Pancasila students. The first, introducing religious teachings to children early on. It means that someone who is smart will be meaningless if his religion is low, like with one of the characters of Pancasila students. Pancasila students are students who are faithful, pious, and have noble character. To get these three things, parents and teachers should introduce religious teachings to children from an early. The second, instill a responsible attitude. It means that being responsible is not as easy as we say it. It can even be said that even adults are not infrequently far from being responsible. Therefore, with the latest design from the government, namely in creating Pancasila students, you and the teacher must play an active role in realizing this program. Number 3. Invite children to discuss. To train children's critical thinking, you must include them in the discussion room. With regular discussions, they will get used to the questions and answer system and exchange opinions. Besides being able to improve children's critical thinking skills, discussions activities can also train their confidence to appear in public. Number 4. Be firm. Be assertive to students when learning activities are in progress. With this firm attitude, your children will be able to understand that you have a big hand in guiding them in achieving their goals. Not infrequently, at this time, you will find a child who is not afraid and respects his teacher at all. Next is invite children to make creativity. It means that creative is a talent that children have from birth. However, being able to do creative things can be a hunt if someone has the intention. Therefore, it is important for you to invite children to make something creative. For example, like gardening, doing projects, and decorating the class. Okay, next, the questions. The following include of the implementation first principle of Pancasila is A. Do worship on time according to our religion. B. Accept the result of the deliberation decision gracefully. C. Associating with the community regardless of ethnic, culture, racial, and intergroup differences. D. Willing to sacrifice property and body for the nation and state. So, what is your correct answer? Okay, the next question. The reason that we must implement Pancasila in our daily life are A. Because Pancasila was made by Indonesian heroes. B. Pancasila is a guide to the life of the nation that teaches goodness and can unite all Indonesian people. C. Because Pancasila has proven its power in crushing the ideology that will replace it. D. Pancasila is taken from Sutasoma's book written by Empu Tular. So, what are your answers? Question number 3. The moral values of Pancasila must be reflected in every behavior of Indonesian citizens. The application of just and civilized human values to the Indonesian people are A. Helping victims of natural disasters. B. Resolve family problems by deliberation. C. Develop a sense of love for the homeland and nation. D. Be polite to everyone. So, what is your answer? Question number 4. Read the following statements. Number 1. Impose a religion and belief to others. 2. Participate by voting in general elections. 3. Do the result of discussion responsibility. 4. Solve the problem by deliberation. 5. Willing to sacrifice for the nation and state interests. 6. Always respect the opinion of others. The applications of the fourth Pancasila principle are A. 1 and 2, B. 2 and 4, C. 4 and 5, D. 3 and 6. The last question. Match the moral value with the suitable behavior. The table of moral value. 1. Supreme divine. 2. Fair and civilized human. 3. Indonesian unity. 4. Democracy and representative deliberation. 5. Social justice. The table of behavior. A. Visiting a neighbor who is sick. B. Receive general election result. C. Mutual cooperation to keep clean the environment. D. Proud to buy and use Indonesian products. E. Tolerance between followers of different religions. So, what is your answer? A. 1 and E. B. 2 and A. 3. D and 4. 4. 5 and C.